Good afternoon, Belize. I am Isani Cayetano, and it's time for your midday check-in with News 5. We've got the top stories to keep you informed. Here's a quick look at what's happening around the country. BNTU descends on Belmopan to protest the government of Belize. Senior Counsel Anan Ramlogan responds to GOB's letter on election announcement. And bikers hold vigil for Gabriel Oriano. These stories and more are coming up in just 1 minute.
I'm Brittany, one of the newest faces around here. My stories are heartfelt and bring a fresh perspective. On the job, there is no challenge too great. Flooded highways, raging fires, or asking tough questions. My determination and willingness to connect with people help to deliver stories that put you, our viewers, at the forefront of issues. My motto? Accurate, timely, and relevant. I am News 5.
Welcome back. This morning, the Belize National Teachers Union, BNTU, gathered in large numbers in Belmopan to protest against the government of Belize. For weeks, the BNTU has been urging the Ministry of Education to pay out overdue allowances and salaries to teachers. Despite the ministry's efforts to resolve these issues, they have faced criticism. Dozens of teachers wearing their signature green t-shirts arrived in the capital today to express their frustration. Before the protest, Minister of Education Francis Fonseca spoke about the situation.
The BNTU, their mandate is to advocate for their membership. We, I think, operated in good faith. I think the BNTU will tell you that the ministry has operated in absolute good faith. We have sat around the table with them respectfully. We have been very transparent. We have tried to respond to every issue that they have raised. December and in January we met again early. So, you know, I wouldn't say disappointed. You know, I always thought that, you know, regardless of what we did, that there would be some action taken. So, you know, that's their right. That's their right, and that's their mandate from their membership, so they have to carry it out.
So good morning, we are here at the UB Auditorium in the city of Belmopan, where teachers are filing in. They started this solidarity march at the Sir George Brown Field on the Ring Road, and they've marched along from that point all the way over here to the UB Gymnasium, where they're expected to host or conduct a solidarity rally that will run from around midday to 2 p.m. There's been a lot of excitement along the route. In one instance, a group of teachers sought to break in, if you would, or break through the barriers that were placed in front of the George Price Center, where this morning's National Assembly House of Representatives meeting will be taking place. That meeting was initially scheduled for 10 a.m. and was moved and rescheduled to 11:30 a.m. So that's already on its way at this point in time. And some teachers were saying, well, we are out here to address our representatives, our government representatives, our elected representatives. Why are we marching towards the UB Gymnasium when we're passing the location where they will all be gathered this morning? However, cooler heads prevailed. The leader of the Belize National Teachers Union, Nadia Callis, instructed her teachers to remove themselves from the compound and to continue along the path which they got permission to march on. And then they also had police officers that were instructing those teachers to remove themselves from the compound as well, that they weren't given permission to march in that area. All of that was resolved peacefully and the march continued. I have to point out that the numbers out here are significant. I haven't gotten a chance to get a head count, but just from the looks of it, we're talking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of teachers out of the classroom today, out here to show solidarity. My understanding is that The purpose behind this solidarity rally is to speak up and fight against economic injustices. And of course, this stems from the teachers' concerns over certain increments and certain allowances and payments that were promised to a number of teachers. And reports are, at least from one teacher, that at least 2,000 teachers have not received the totality of the payments promised to them or committed to them. And so this is something that we'll continue to follow up on throughout the rest of the day. You could catch more updates on our social media page, and of course live tonight at 6 p.m. right here on News 5 Live. Back to you guys in the studio.
Senior counsel Anand Ramlogan has replied to a letter from the law firm of Courtney Koyi sent on behalf of the government of Belize. This is about a pre-action claim related to the long overdue redistricting exercise filed in the High Court for Ramlogan's clients, including Jeremy Enriquez, Jessica Tulsi, and Rudolph Norales. In response to Courtney's letter, which mentioned that the Briceño administration won't announce the general election date today, the Trinidadian lawyer wrote that it's important to get a broader commitment from the Attorney General of Belize. He requested that the Attorney General notify the claimant's attorneys in writing at least 5 days before any decision to dissolve Parliament and set a date for the general election, as required by the Constitution. We'll have more on this at 6 p.m. Vidal Oriano, the father of little Gabriel Oriano, who tragically drowned after escaping from Stella Maris School on Monday afternoon, has been receiving help to bury his son. The community has shown kindness, reaching out to support him after heartbreaking videos surfaced showing Gabriel running through several streets before slipping into the sea and drowning. While some have criticized those who saw the child running away in heavy traffic and did nothing, there is also an understanding that people might hesitate to approach a fleeing child for fear of being seen as predators. CEO in the Ministry of Human Development, Adele Katsim, suggests that people can still help by calling the relevant authorities.
People don't want to be perceived as predators, right? For children. And so, yes, it is true that we're not encouraging people to be predators, but when we do see that a child is in need or in assistance, at least we can stop to lend a hand. At least we can stop to inquire, find out why that child is there. And we can call the police. We can ask them if they have the number for their parent, who their parent is. We can call the Department of Human Services. And so there are things that we can do. Yes, we know that there might be predators who are trying to do things, right? But even if people were trying to intervene and someone saw that there might be a predator, they would at least have called the police or called someone else. And there would have been more of a quicker intervention for the child. But we know we cannot turn the clock backwards, but we do need to use this as an opportunity to learn and to be more responsive as a society. And again, I do reiterate that it's not everyone who was unresponsive. There were people who tried to intervene, and I think that if we can at least highlight that as something that is positive, it encourages other people to then want to intervene.
Nearly 30 bikers gathered to honor 6-year-old Gabriel Oriano. They rode to his grandmother's home in Belize City and gave her a box of money. The bikers, dressed in blue to represent autism awareness, followed the 2-mile path Gabriel ran on Monday, retracing his steps to where he was found in the hangar area. The Ministry of Education and the Belize Police Department are investigating how Gabriel managed to leave Stella Maris School unnoticed. On Thursday, the school held a vigil to remember him. 10 years after his first book, The Sacred Maya, Smoke Shell, Manuel Novello is back with an exciting new read for Belizeans. Set in 1960s Orange Walk, a Belizean story follows his original characters through real historical events. This morning, Novello visited our office to share the thrilling news and give us more details about the upcoming release. A Belizean story will soon be available at bookstores across the country.
I've always loved writing, creative writing. I've done that since I was a child. I have my first book was written back in the 1980s actually, and I call it La Milpa. Never got it published. I still have it. The manuscript. I also wrote several other stories, many short stories, but the ones that I really had opportunity to publish, this one that I published many years ago, actually published it in the United States and I published it here in Belize. And now recently I just finished another one, which I call A Belize Story, right? So this is my new book I would like to present to our Belizean public, our Belizean readers, hoping that not only children go to school, but like everybody, adults, everybody will enjoy this book. So it's real characters that happened in 1960s, 1970s, but again, I put a story about 3 young boys, a Patli Kadag, the adventures they had, and then I relate the story or the real history of the village of Palmar, the uniqueness of this village, when they used to live in a village known as San Jose Albac and San Pedro cities in the that's in near Galanjog, in the western part of the Rinjong district, and then how they were forced out of their lands by the British Empire, by the BC, the Great British Giants.
That's a wrap for the news at noon. But don't worry, there's plenty more coming your way at 6 p.m. We'll dive deeper into these stories and more. In the meantime, visit channel5belize.com and follow us on Facebook for real-time updates. And don't miss Open Your Eyes on Monday morning for fresh takes on today's headlines. Thanks for tuning in, Belize. Stay informed, stay inspired, and have a fantastic afternoon.